Good afternoon, everyone. It's Anita Menon from hearthealthbrainhealth.com, encouraging healthy grieving and mindful actions. Today, my thoughts are about the fourth section that I wanted to teach you about true love. So part 4, this one, is about a word called Upeksha. So again, Sanskrit word, and it's called Upeksha. Upeksha is a non-discrimination. Non-discrimination. So there's a path of non-discrimination. So what would that mean? That when you are loving someone, it's not because the race is the same as yours. It's not because the color is the same. It's not because the spiritual path is the same. It's not because of anything being the same. It's not because you grew up in the same town. It's not because you know the same people. It's not because of anything that's the same. It's the non-discrimination. And this is a much higher level of love. This is that understanding of everything is lovable, right? So this other term that was used to describe Upeksha was equanimity, is to love with equanimity. So it's with this even nature. So, and this is, again, a higher level of love. So not necessarily romantic love, though I would hope that it's also in your romantic love. It's a space of love just to love, right? So this idea of equanimity, you'll notice that equanimity has an inclusiveness to it. And all of the 4 parts that I've talked about in this little series that I've done this week are all consistent in terms of they're infinite, right? There's no limit to the amounts that are in these 4 things, which was again Maitri, Karuna, Mudita, and now Upeksha. And Upeksha, again, since I want to concentrate on this today, I came across a beautiful quotation, which I wanted to share with you, of course. It says, "Few people are capable of expressing with equanimity opinions which differ from the prejudices of their social environment. Most people are incapable of forming such opinions." So isn't that interesting? So we know that if someone is growing up in a very strict community, to love someone outside of that community takes courage, right? It's an opinion that's formed that's not matching the social environment. And of course, this will happen in different cities. This will happen in different cultures. This will happen in different countries. This will happen in all sorts of things that we love or do not love. So, I thought about it happens in politics, and I'm not going to go into politics, but it's easy to think about, right? I love this party because X, Y, Z, whatever it is, right? I love this party. Another person says, "Oh, I don't love that party. I love this party." Now this is the opposite. And I don't love that party because of this, right? And this happens all the time in political debates, of course. But even politics, if you were to think about the reasons that even rulers or kings were chosen for ruling a place, it was for the intention of equanimity with people, right? This love that would be for everyone, that the ruler wants to take care of everyone without exception, that everyone should be taken care of on my land, right? And we know that this has changed a lot in recent times. Now, it's interesting that I heard Thich Nhat Hanh talk about this, and he actually did try to express this politically in the States and to share this idea of this political leader is someone that I support because of this. This other political leader is someone I don't support because of whatever. And if we can see that this other political leader also says some things that I do agree with, that's a space of coming from equanimity. And so when a political leader is chosen and we're really divided, right? The country gets divided about, well, that's not what I support. So no matter what that person does, even when they actually are in agreement with what we are agreeing with, we're already close to that idea. And this can happen. I know that I see this in Canada and have seen it for many years, that if I'm a teacher and the political party is saying, "Oh, education funds are being cut," I don't like that political party anymore. Now, I might be in healthcare and healthcare is getting more money. And I'd say, oh, I really like them because they're supporting healthcare. Well, that's not equanimity, right? Again, that understanding of, I'm glad that they're supporting healthcare because I'm happy with that, because I do know that that's where my heart is. And when they support education, I can say I'm happy with that because I do see its importance, right? That same idea. This is what we can think about in families too, right? That you might have 4 kids, let's say even 2 kids, and you might notice that one's personality is something that's more like your own, and you might just love that child a little bit more, not consciously, right? Because really, you want equanimity in your family, so you consciously make sure that you try to love both, right? But then that understanding usually comes from, yes, but this child always does this, and this child does this. Often it's not with that same enthusiasm, right? Because unless we're mindfully attentive to, I like this child more, I'm enjoying this child's company more because of this, it's more like me, it's more like how I think, then we don't become mindful of, oh, okay, that's why this other child is not the same as me. And as I'm noticing this, I notice that I don't treat them the same as this child. And this happens all the time too, right? I came across this great quotation, which I know I won't say exactly right, but I wanted to share it with you because, of course, I work with grief recovery. And one of the areas that I notice a lot is that time of loss. And I saw this quotation which said, this woman was saying that my son handled really well and with equanimity the loss of his father. My fear is that he will handle the loss of his inheritance with much less enthusiasm. And I know there were stronger words in that quotation. I suspect I'll write a blog later today about this. But this whole idea of, okay, I lost a parent, this child got through it, and then I lost my inheritance will be a whole different energy, right? So which is very interesting because I see a lot of people that at times of figuring out inheritance, a lot of times they'll say, I knew they loved this sibling more. I knew you were going to get more. Of course they gave you more. And there's that jealousy that comes in, right? And the fact is, yes, it doesn't make me feel good because I was hoping to get more in this situation. At the same time, I'm happy that you got this, right? It's a very good space of equanimity. But what does that take? Courage, right? The courage to actually lovingly accept what is, right? And without a temper or without a reaction, with just acceptance, right? So today I wanted to make sure that I share this piece with you. And I came across another quotation by Paricles that I wanted to end this video with. But before I do, I want you to know that Valentine's Day is just one reason to really enjoy love, right? And love, of course, in its ideal sense, brings happiness, right? And that's certainly what I'm trying to encourage you to do in your relationships and within yourself too. And I'd love you to take for 5 minutes just after this video to think about things that you're aware that, yeah, you've got this equanimity experience, you've got this feeling of Upeksha, and this is infinite, right? There's no limit to it. It's not that if I love this, then, oh, what will happen? I'll run out of it. No, you're going to love infinitely if you choose to do so. So I came across this quotation by Paricles, which says, happiness depends on being free, and freedom depends on being courageous, right? So didn't we just talk about that, right? That it takes courage to love from this space. It takes courage. And yet, it's a fabulous place to work from because honestly, there's nothing that holds back your freedom of happiness in these experiences of these 4 different pieces that I've talked about this week. And if you haven't seen the videos, I'm going to put links to them just under this video on my YouTube channel so you can watch all 4. And I'd encourage you to do so, and I'd encourage you to bring love into yourself and into your experience of your loving relationships. I wish you a fantastic Valentine's Day ahead. A Valentine's Day weekend ahead, of course, is coming sooner. And I hope you remember that you can bring love into your experience and to the experience of the people around you and to the world around us, really. I wish you a fantastic day ahead, and I hope you remember, transform your mind and transform your life. Have a great day, everyone.